right, what's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of the GPS podcast, Grow Your Passion into Success, where we give you the roadmap to success. As you see, I'm missing my partner in crime today. She's out entrepreneuring in Houston. H-Town, what's up? We stay down, H-Town, you know what it is. But I got a very special guest in the house tonight. I'm excited about this episode, and it's just the boys, so you know what I'm saying? So ladies, I'm sorry, ain't gonna be no feminine energy on this one. We all masculine over here. We just bringing in some of that, you know, the new year right, some of that big boy energy. So let me introduce my guest to y'all today. Very special guest. Now, here's the crazy part. I've known this young man for most of his life, right? But he's killing the game. And this is why I'm so in love with helping our young people, because he's at in life a place in doing what I wish I was doing at his age. Like, I'm just now finding success at half his age. So I'm going to let him tell you everything. But let me just say this one accolade, and we're going to run through a bunch of accolades, but I'm going to give him this one accolade I'm so proud of. We're sitting with the 2022-2023 HBCU Student of the Year. That's no small feat. We might have to add in claps or something right there. We might have to add claps in. The 2022-2023 HBCU Student of the Year. That's major, okay? Shout out to all the HBCUs, but we got the top one with us today. So with no further ado, I would like to introduce y'all to the one, the only young brother I'm so proud of, man, Yahmir Muhammad, or as I call him, Yahmizi the chef. Talk to him, Yahmir. Introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are.
I appreciate you for that. It's a long story on how I got the name Yahmizi the chef. He was probably the first person, Brother Henry, the first person to call me Yahmizi. Because everybody always made different nicknames for me, but I'd come around their house as a child and he'll call me Yahmizi. And the funny thing is, when I started rapping, that was the first name that I went with when I started rapping. So everybody knows me now as Meezy. So a brief introduction on my story is I was a good basketball player. I averaged about 19.8 coming out of high school for Auburn High School. Had a lot of scholarships, but none was the ones that I wanted. And the ones that I wanted was a good school that also had an engineering department. A lot of people didn't know that my goal was always to be an engineer, because all my friends that I had grew up with, they just stayed around Rockford, sold drugs, or they didn't get to achieve their ultimate goals. And my thing was, I want to be somebody to say, I could be an engineer, I could show other people that I could do this, then you could do it too, And we didn't know any engineers that was growing up with us. So I wanted to be the first. So I went to the engineering school for basketball on a scholarship. My coach got fired. As my coach got fired, it was time for me to make the next step. And I said that it's time for me to just focus on engineering. I want to start with my people. So I looked through HBCUs and I chose Jackson State. Funny thing is, the day I chose Jackson State was the day that Coach Prime chose Jackson State.
Shout out to Coach Prime.
So I ended up working with Coach Prime on the football team. And I ended up seeing him every day. And I ended up being in a little cameo in the documentary of Coach Prime documentary on Amazon Prime. And now it's just me just taking advantage of all my opportunities. And I've happened to win the HBCU Student of the Year award. And I really appreciate everybody at Jackson State and everybody that's been a part of my journey.
Yo, it's so much to unpack right here. That's lit. Like, I hope y'all understand it. And for the young brothers that see this podcast, man, I hope y'all really tap in. I gotta mention this on basketball. He mentioned he was a good basketball player. It's funny. I remember at a certain point, I used to talk trash to him. Like, man, you can't see me on this court. That's when I was still a little bit younger.
Right.
Then at a certain point, like one day the boy got tall. And I was like, I don't want to hoop with him no more. That boy come out there and bust me something serious, you hear me? So he ain't never beat me because I ain't never played him once he got some height. So, you know what I'm saying? But, man, I'm so proud of you, man. So let's walk through this, man. So you did basketball, you did football.
Right.
When you was in high school.
Definitely didn't talk about the football.
Tell me about the football.
I was in the paper multiple times. So throughout the year, I wasn't even going to play football because my whole process was basketball. Fred Van Vliet went to my school for basketball, so I felt like if I wanted to be successful in a sport, I was going to have to use basketball at going to Auburn. But our football program was turning around. And my coach that coached me in Little League, Coach Dathan Wixon, he seen me walking in the hallways, and he chased me, and he said, "What you doing?" And I was just messing around, being a high schooler, chilling and waiting until the gym opened up so I can go hoop. And he said, "Come out to practice tomorrow." I came out to practice in my basketball shoes. And he was like, "Okay, you didn't come prepared, but let me show them you know what you're doing." So they ran me some routes, and they had me guard a couple people. I was catching the ball. I was defending people pretty well. And the coach was like, "Yeah, we're going to get you some shoes tomorrow. So just come back tomorrow." And before I knew it, I was starting as a freshman, playing sophomore and everything else. So it was a blessing.
Man, that was lit. You know what? It's two things I remember about your high school, playing sports in high school, that stood out to me. One was football, one was basketball. Basketball, and I had it on my Facebook page until Facebook was some haters and they deleted my page. You know how that go. But basketball, I remember the game-winning buzzer beater that you hit. It was crazy. That's the only time I ever really ran on the court. It was going crazy. And, like, it was lit. Like, I still remember to this day, like, I'm still there. Like, that was lit. And I remember y'all played a football game somewhere. It was, I don't know, maybe Belvedere or something. And the game lasts like 4 hours. And they hit y'all with more penalties in one game than I've ever. It was every single play was a penalty. It was like midnight. We still at the game. We like, yo, what's going on? And they still couldn't beat y'all. Like, it was crazy. So I remember those two things when you playing sports in high school. And it's just dope, man, like to see the progression. And then as you moved on and, you know, kept doing your thing. So
yeah, that's great. I always said to myself, I wonder how could I get this same drive, this same motivation that I put into my basketball. You know, I would wake up at 5:30, 5:45, head to the YMCA, shoot for about an hour before practice. Then I would go to Auburn, shoot at Auburn before school. Then I would go to school and we would go to practice afterwards. And after I stopped hooping, I realized I wake up at about 7 or 8, go to school. After school, I would relax. And I said, I started getting tired if I studied too long. But I never got tired of basketball. I never got tired of football. So I always said, how could I get this same motivation that I had in sports in my regularly achievements that I wanted, you know? Whether I wanted to be a businessman or I wanted to be, an engineer. So that was my next step.
Man, we about to get into that piece because I'm gonna tell y'all something that this how I knew when he was younger he was gonna be great when he got older. This little boy when he was I'm not like now, but I'm saying when he was little.
Right.
He used to hate losing. I'm talking about tantrums, crying, the whole shebang. Like, yo, if my man lost at anything,
facts,
like he was gonna be cold. And I'm gonna tell you something else too. I remember. And this is just to build up to your background as we get to where you at now. I remember, I think you might have been like 8th grade. So I was like, you was like, "Hey, you want to play chess?" I was like, "Man, I don't really play, but I'll play with you right quick." Nobody told me that this boy was the state champion for chess, right? Nobody told me he was on his game. I'm just thinking, this a child. I'm finna go whoop this young man, teach him how to play chess. Incorrect. Taught me how to play chess. It was over in like 4 or 5 moves. I was like, what the hell? I'm looking. Like, ain't no way. I'm done for. Like, you ain't gonna play again? No, little boy. What kind of demon child is this, man? I'm not even sure what happened, right? So it's crazy because I played T.C. Bell in chess, and he was doing all this bragging. He got hurt. He needed somebody to play chess with him because he was just came off of surgery. So he was chilling, and I beat him. And he was like, "Man, who else you think I should play chess with?" I was like, "If you lost to me, you don't want to see Yahmir, so I ain't gonna." I was like, "Cause yo, fam, I don't play chess, so you don't want to see Yahmir." He was like, "He a state champ." He's like, "Bring him on." I'm like, "Fam, you ain't even." I'm like the leader on the first board. Yahmir is at the end of the game. I'm like, "Yo, you ain't make it to me on the first board, fam. You ain't gonna make it to that last board." So
that is hilarious,
man. I always seen the competitive drive in you though, and I like that because with young boys, man, you gotta teach them like, man, listen, losing is not okay.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? Losing is not. You in second place, you the first loser. right? If you run in a race and you got second place, you're just the first loser.
Right.
There's first place and everybody else. So I knew that was gonna like be something great. So let me get into something that's a side note right before we jump into some more modern day stuff. I gotta share this secret on the podcast, right?
Please do.
They used to live across the street from us, right? So we all play video games all the time. Call of Duty, Madden, whatever. I don't know if we had any basketball games at the time. Mortal Kombat.
We had 2K. We had
2K?
Yeah, we used to play 2K.
All right, so listen. They was decent in video games too, right? They was decent. So I had figured out this little cheat. I forgot which Madden it was, right? It's so crazy. We used to pop them as shorties. It was a little cheat when you play Madden. Like right before the game start, you could change your team's like level. So every time we would play, I'll pretend like I'm going through doing different stuff and I'll change my team's level. So his team would be like all Madden, my team would be on like rookie, right? The game would start, out the gate, I'm running the ball back. They used to be so heated. It'd be like 60 points in the first half. They'd be like, how's he doing this? I finally told them years later, like, hey, y'all, we finessed y'all the whole time. Like, I showed my wife how to do it. They was like, she trash. How she out here beating us? Like, she not even good at video games. Like, yo. But it was hilarious, man. I just recall that memory, man. We used to that, Call of Duty, all that, man. We used to live next door. So they'd come over, we'd get down. And so it's cool seeing it. You, your brother, your sister, all that. It's cool seeing y'all grow and just become successful in so much stuff, man. I'm so proud. So let's talk about some. We're going to get into this.
Definitely.
Let's talk about these bars you got. Because, I'm a hip-hop addict. Let's talk about these bars you got. Let's talk about this music. Hey, on New Year's Day.
New Year's
Eve, we had a New Year's Eve party here. We spent about 10 minutes having a Yahmir session. So in the Yahmir session, we was talking about like, oh, his music go hard. Then we start playing the music. Like, we was in here getting to it. Like, you was actually here. You feel me? Like, I was like, we're going to get this man his flowers, even if he not here. So let's talk about what made you want to start rapping? Like, how you come up with your material? Like, talk to me. I'm a hip-hop fan, so Talk to me like the fan, because I love your music. It's popping.
So I started through my brother. My brother never rapped, but he tried to for a little bit, but I'm not going to put him out as a rapper. He never really rapped, but he always listened to high-level artistry. I remember waking up hearing College Dropout by Kanye West.
Right.
Soon as I woke up. I remember the warm-up and J. Cole, Friday Night Lights. When my brother packing up his stuff to go to college, he playing all these different hits. I remember these type of artists. And I said to myself, like, I always wanted to rap, but I wasn't good. But I had a pattern of behavior. My pattern of behavior is me always winning, I always was able to figure out how to win. And the fact that I could not figure out how to win in music kind of disturbed me. So I said that I was going to dedicate some time separately from what I do to make sure I put this time in every day on music. So I'll be like, okay, first I want to study how does Drake make everything sound sonically in line. That no matter how good his lyrics is or bad his lyrics is, somehow everybody likes the way it sounds.
Right.
So I just sat there and listened to Drake constantly and try to see how he get his sound right. Then when it come to lyricism, I would bite off of different rappers that I like to listen to. I got a variety of rappers that I listen to, from Chance all the way down to Kodak Black, who somebody may not, listen to that. But it just kind of gives you a wide variety of music to kind of expand you. And that's what I did. And then before I knew it, I would pitch it to people so I go to the car. My friends riding with me in the car. I'll play some Drake. Then I'll play some J. Cole. Then I'll play some Lil Durk. Then I'll play some me. And I'll see how do they react when my song came on versus how they would react when songs that they didn't know came on from other artists,
Right.
And the way that they reacted would let me know. If they was like, who is this? Cut this off. I cut it off. But I keep it in my mind like that wasn't it. Until finally I played a song where they was like, this is hard. Who this? I was like, this is the one. This is the song that I was waiting on. And that song was Rodeo.
Yeah. You know what's crazy about it? I'm going to tell you. Like, from a fan perspective, I was talking to some of the local MCs, and they was like, "Yo, do you know this kid like Meezy or something?" And it didn't even click in my mind. I'm like, "No, you talking about this? Yo, he got this track. It's hard." And I'm like, "Oh, whatever, yada yada yada." But then when it came back around, I'm like, "Wait, y'all talking about? Hold on." I was like, "That's my nephew." They was like, "Oh, you know him?"
Yeah,
I was like, it clicked to me like, "Yo, like the wave of the new artists and all that." Like when I heard your music, I was like, yo, he tapped into something that, like, if you wanted to, you could take it to whatever level.
Right.
Like, when I see people reaction to it, I'm like, oh yeah, they vibing. Like, this is. Then I was like, yo, I don't know, you got some baby making joints of that joint. So I was like, yo, I can't listen to Neff Visual. I'm from the old school. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard though, man. So hey, quick drop. Tell them where they can find all your music at. All that. You can do the drop right now. Let them know.
So everywhere. No matter where you at, Apple Music, Spotify, iTunes, anything you could think of. If you got Wi-Fi, you can find me. My name is CG space Meezy. So Meezy is the Meezy. And I'm everywhere. So stream it, view it, and let me know on Instagram what you think. Follow me on Instagram. I respond to messages. Just text me and say, this is my favorite song. This is what you could work on. And I love your craft. So thank you.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, we was at his brother wedding out in Jamaica. Had Meezy on, I was like, who this? They're like, oh, this that boy. I was like, yo, this is straight baby making music. Hold on, I'm gonna have to call Kills and find out what's going on with this. You feel me? But yeah, the music is hard, man. I like it. Like
you gotta call Kills for the right reason. call Kills for the music and nothing else.
Yo, Kills, you can't come around the children in there, but sonically though, Kills, we mess with you. You know what I'm saying? But like, that joint was so hard, man. I was impressed, man, because like I've heard some others. And, you know, I'm an honest hip hop fan. Like if it's trash, I'm gonna tell somebody like, yo, this is trash, and you probably should, you know, maybe do taxes or something. I don't know, but like hip hop ain't for you. You feel me? So man, y'all need to go follow that. Listen, man, it's hard. Go check it out today. Don't play no games. Go check it out today. And fellas, turn it on. Get your woman in the car and just ride to it. You're gonna be. Trust me, he did you a favor. All right, y'all owe him for that. Owe him a solid. So the music, I'm dope. Now let's get to this Jackson State piece. So
please,
just Jackson State piece. All right, let's talk about just everything, man. The campus, the environment. You there now. But you was there when Coach Prime got there. Like, tell us about Jackson State, man. How is it?
So Jackson State, I'm not going to say the most, but it has to be in the top 3 of most unique HBCUs. Not just HBCUs, matter of fact, unique schools that's in the country. The amount of things that we done went through in the last 2 years alone, they should have their own documentary outside of Coach Prime. So we went through segments where we had no water at all. I'm talking about. So you can't flush the toilet. You can't shower. Can't wash your hands.
Like a concentration camp.
All of these things. That's just one segment. You know, then we went through a segment where we had water, but the water wasn't filtered. So it would give certain people rashes. It would, you know, and the problem is, so my father would talk about how he looked up the endowment of these places. So endowment is the money that you can get from your school for emergency funds and different so on. So if you look up the endowment for a school like Ohio State, you know, which is a big school,
right,
huge football program, then you would look up endowment for an Ivy League school like Harvard. So that's Ohio State. It's probably going to take you to the millions, hundreds of millions. Then you look up Harvard, it's going to go into the billions. Then you look up Jackson State, it's going to go to $60 million. And that's going to let you know that the funding and the money is the reason why they say HBCUs don't have the resources. Because of this funding. So now you get into the best part of the school is the fact that the people operate with such a light on them that you wouldn't know that we going through this much stuff at the school. You know, the people is happy, we dancing, we on the yard, we on the plaza, doing all type of things, and you wouldn't realize that, wow, you would not know that these people ain't got no water, that these people are struggling, that these is problems that's going on. And that's what make the school so fun, because it got its own unique culture to it. So for me, it was just about me kind of giving my own spice to it, kind of just presenting myself.
Let me get your opinion on this. I had a conversation with some of my older cousins, and we was having this conversation about supporting HBCUs, right?
Right.
Like this meme came out, I don't know if it was a meme or whatever, and it was like, every black person in America essentially should pick a HBCU of their choice to support.
Right.
And everybody should support it. I agree and I disagree, and I'm going to tell you why, right? On one side, I agree, because, man, if we don't take care of us, ain't nobody going to do it, right?
Right.
But on the flip side, because HBCUs right now get their money from, white institutions, a lot of times the people that's in control of the money, they abuse the children and the students, and then they go on solo dolo for themselves. So a lot of HBCUs got financial mismanagement things happening.
A lot.
So it's like,
we can talk about that financial business.
Me personally, now that I'm making a little bit of money in life, being successful, like I want to support black things to help black people do things, especially HBCU, since I never got the chance to go. But I also don't want to be like, yo, I donated $10,000, and then somebody like, yo, we about to go on this vacation that costs $10,000, and I'm like, yo, that $10,000 look just like my $10,000. You feel me? And they like, yo, this was sponsored by CEO bro Henry. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, so like, what's your opinions on that, man? It's financial mismanagement and like just support of HBCUs. Like, how can we fix it?
Okay, so the financial mismanagement is huge, and I think that's a large part of the reason I feel as Coach Prime left, to the financial mismanagement, because if we manage our funds right, we could properly compensate our head coach at our football team, But the problem is we get so relaxed and comfortable in the way things are that we are okay with them staying the way things are.
That's heavy.
So we'll have students come in and they don't have a dorm room, and they got all the way to the school and they was told that they had a dorm room, but they don't have a dorm room.
That's crazy.
So, but this go on in all campuses. But the difference is at HBCU, it doesn't start to change, because nobody's telling them this is unacceptable. And even the people who are saying it's unacceptable, they're not in a position to make a change.
That's heavy.
So that's kind of that part of it. But the other part would be, the difference is you have to start at the top. So once the president and people with the money who giving the money, they should sit there and be told, show me the receipts.
Facts.
Show me where this money is going and how does it bring about change to what I want to bring about change to.
Facts.
And a lot of people is giving money, but they not going through the process to say, I need the receipts. Who did this go to? Where did this go to? You can't just give empty money, because there'll be no paper trail.
Right.
You need the paper trail to show that, oh, this went to this dorm room, this went to this,
Right.
So on and so on.
Yeah, that's a tough piece, man. Forensic accountants, if y'all out there, we need y'all in the black community, man. Like,
that's tough.
Yeah, that's and a lot of times it'd be stuff that be like private, so it's not even like you could bring, like, you can't just bring somebody in because it's like privately owned, this or that. It's tough.
I also wanted to get into another thing with the schooling. I feel like HBCUs give people a chance, more often than not, give black people a chance to graduate in a major that they wanted to graduate in, that they might not have been able to graduate at a PWI because of the weeding process.
Right.
The weeding process is a lot less harsh at a HBCU than it is. It's still a weeding process,
right?
But it's a lot less harsh at a HBCU than it is at a PWI. But the thing I would say needs to start at is at home with, can you show your child enough experiences that they know exactly what they want to go to school for?
Right. That's heavy. That's major.
Because if you show them enough experiences that they know what they want to go to school for, they might realize that they don't want to go to school.
That's major. That's really major because I talk about that with people all the time. With our school, it's like, yo, let's provide these opportunities and these experiences. Because I'm gonna give you a prime example. I brought A. Donahue Baker to speak at our school.
Right.
But our children never seen a black-owned banker before.
Right.
Once they seen him, young boys was like, wait a second, black people can own banks? And I was like, yo, this is like last year. And I'm like...
It's a true question to ask.
Like, what you mean? He's like, I've never seen black people that owned a bank before. Mm-hmm. So A. Donahue Baker was the first person that ever seen that actually owned a bank. And it was like mind-blowing. And in my mind, I'm like, it was, at that time, like 2021, 2022, like, what you mean, black folks? You could do anything. But until you actually see it and have that experience, you don't actually think you can do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be around certain things to see certain things and actually think you could do it. So what you're saying is major because, like, that's key for our young people, man.
Not enough experiences.
Not enough experiences. And that goes to poverty, right? You can't get out the hood. You think your block is everything. And then it goes to, like, the mindset of parents who got children, but because parents didn't get far in life, they can only push their children so far.
Right.
Or they don't want to push their children further. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ask me, and the reason we got our school, every family should have passports.
Right.
Passports should be stamped up. It shouldn't be I get to go to the Dominican Republic thing. It should be like, we going to the DR again. You know what I'm saying?
Again.
We going to Jamaica again. We going to the Bahamas again. We popping out to Turks and Caicos again. You know what I'm saying? But for us, we be like, if you were in Rockford, folks be like, I remember I was doing community work and I had adopted Concord Projects as my neighborhood.
Right.
And I took the shorties and I was like, I'm going to take y'all to Chicago. And it was like, we going to Chicago? I'm like, what you mean? You know what I'm saying? What you mean? Like, Chicago ain't nothing but an hour from us. What you mean?
Yeah.
It's down the street. Like, we the furthest away that, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you mean? They're like, we ain't never been in Chicago. It's like, I had them downtown. They was like, they make buildings this big? And it didn't even dawn on me, like, they never even seen a skyscraper before. You know what I'm saying? They used to seeing their projects. Yeah. And they used to seeing whatever's in the neighborhood.
The neighborhood of Rockford.
That's crazy.
The east side, maybe.
Right. That's a thing. It was like, you going to the mall? I'm like, fam, it's on the other side of town. You take a bus there. You know what I'm saying? That's major, man. Like that parents, if you see this, make sure you getting experiences for your young people. And if you can't afford it, get around people that can afford it so you can put those experiences in your young people's life.
Can you imagine a place where young people become entrepreneurs? They learn about sales funnels, cryptocurrency, real estate, investing in property, making money, selling books, getting it. Well, check us out, kickerversacademy.org. Let's get back to the episode.
All right, so I gotta ask this question now. I know we just hit a serious note, gave y'all some real juice, some real wisdom, but I gotta ask this question. Yahmir, you single? Ooh, that's one of those questions. He's like, why you ask me this on camera? I see the long pause.
That's fire.
Oh, boy.
Now I see how the rappers be feeling when people just say stuff like that without saying it behind the scenes.
Hey, look, your girls watching right now, they on the edge of their seat like, what he gonna say? What he gonna say? You feel me? You can plead the fifth.
I'm gonna say no. All
right. You got a situation popping off. Hey, thing is, you don't know when this episode gonna air. He like, hey, let me go back and change that. I don't know. Hey, all right, so we just had an episode recently. I brought some of your peers through, and we was talking about relationships and dating in 2022. All right. This is crazy to me, all right, because I don't understand what y'all generation is dealing with stuff and got stuff that didn't exist. Like, when I was your age, if you catfish, you getting hands put on you, right? And we didn't have this whole movement of, like, you know, for the folks out there to identify one way or the other, but then just all this weird energy. Yeah. We didn't have none of that when I was younger. So tell me, like, what's it like out there, man? It's
a tough game.
Like?
It's a tough game, especially like with the fact that like it's women that got bodies that's built. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you got to think of it like a man could do the same thing. You know. But that's really, I feel like most people that get catfish, they get catfish online.
Facts.
Like,
facts.
If you meeting a woman in person and you talking to her, it's gonna be hard for you to get catfish, unless that's what you like. If that's what you like, ain't no telling. But I'm just saying, like,
true.
Most times, I'm personally gonna want to see somebody in person and talk to them versus seeing an Instagram model or something like that. And then I don't even got enough money to be even acting like that. They ain't even in my repertoire. I'm like on some. I see somebody in person. Hey, how you doing?
Facts.
But
what you think about girls that be out here finessing for free meals?
For free meals?
It's up there, man. It's up there.
That's hilarious. I mean, it go both ways. You know, Gilly call them the homosexuals, the men who sleep with women and stay at their house for months at a time. So you got men that be finessing and you got women that be finessing. So a finesser gonna be a finesser. Like, it's up to you to get finessed. Now, my thing is, food ain't tricking to me, you know. So if I take a girl out and we go out to eat, that ain't nothing. I was gonna eat anyway, you know.
True.
But it depends on where you go out to eat at. If you tricking, if you went to Roof Chris. But if you just went to Red Robin, Applebee's, that's not tricking. You know, that's not tricking. You just went 2 for $20. You know what I'm saying? You ate good. Y'all got to know each other. It was a simple date. You know, I like that concept more so than me. That'd be, you know, and if it was the other way around, if I was finessing, then I'd be staying at somebody's house for long periods of time, which I don't move like that either. So
I just heard 19 Keys say on a podcast, he said the problem that he sees it today is that women want to be independent and there's men that want to be dependent. Both of them is out of their lane. He's like, if you're a woman that want to be independent, what you need a man for, right? Because women that holler independent, they independent to the garbage got to get taken out, to the snow got to get shoveled, to they need something happen on the car, the tire go flat, right? They independent. And I think I heard Andrew Tate say, you independent till some dude come to rob you late at night. Then you're like, somebody help. You're not looking for a female to come help you. You're like, where's a strong dude at to come through here and help me from getting robbed, right? So women have this independent thing. And then same thing you said about men being dependent. Like I swear to God, it's something about my manhood. A woman can't never tell me, get out my house.
Right.
I pay the bills here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to go. Fam, if it's one thing I ever hope men learn is like, listen, don't put yourself in that position.
Never.
Don't. What? A woman telling me I pay the bills here? You can't even. That's a whole nother subject. But you can't be no man and a woman telling you I pay the bills here. That's crazy. So I know bros be finessing, doing their thing.
You know their favorite question right now, though. Right now, the favorite question is should a man go 50-50 on the bill?
Let's talk about that. We just talked about this in the episode. I'm gonna tell you what I said. Then give me your opinion. I said this, right?
Right.
If I've always paid for my dates, right? I've always paid for them. Anytime I went out, took a girl out. Especially if I asked her, I've always paid. But if a man say that he go on a date with a woman, and then at a certain point he realized like he ain't feeling her, she ain't feeling him, they ain't vibing, you know, it ain't no future in no second date. I feel like a date is an investment. And I don't feel like I don't feel like making an investment with no return. So if a man say he going on a date midway through the day, he like, hey, this is a 50-50 thing. Ain't no return on this investment. You feel me? I don't feel personally like I feel where that man coming from if he make that choice. Now, I never did it personally, but for men who say they do that, I feel them. Like, I get it. Like, I'm not finna invest in you. Ain't no future coming here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you finessing for free food or what's going on, but yo, I'm going to pay for mine, you pay for yours, we go our separate ways, we never got to see each other again. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's kind of bogus. If you invited her, like, yo, let's go on this date.
That's like you telling her, let's go to Roof Chris, don't worry about it, I'm going to take care of everything. You know, she ordering. You know, when people ain't paying, they get to ordering stuff that they never will order. They get to ordering the most expensive steak, shrimp linguine, all type of stuff, appetizers. And can I get a to-go box?
Right.
So then you tell her she paying.
Hey, you start becoming names you ain't know she felt about you. You hear me?
That's when you go Instagram viral.
Hey, let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask you about some of these shorts I've seen. Right, I be on YouTube shorts. It be for pastimes late at night. I seen a short dude and a girl out on a date. She start ordering food and tell dude, he say, "What you doing? You got your food?" She said, "My kids need to eat." He was like, "Shorty, I'm on a date with you." She was like, "Listen, if you dating me, you dating my children too. I need you to buy them a meal." They at an expensive restaurant. What's your take?
My thing is, was this discussed already?
It don't look like it.
Now, if this wasn't discussed, your whole process should have been, I'm not going to eat that much because I'm going to save some for my children.
Facts.
But if you discussed it with me already, then in my mind, we gonna stop at a fast food restaurant, and I'm gonna get the children something to eat.
They better take this phone call.
Let's ball on a budget though. Like, I'm gonna take care of them. It's gonna be on a budget. Like, they don't need to eat the same way you eat, you know.
Nah.
But at the same time, if we didn't discuss it, that's different. Not she being rude. But if we discussed it, then I'm gonna say, let's go to a fast food. You know, we're gonna get them some food too. But it just ain't gonna be what we just ate.
That's tough. That's tough. Listen.
But that's the dating scene right now. You know, I'm not dating, but that's the dating scene right now. Is that a lot of women right now have children, so you're gonna have to date their children. Like, that children gonna have to become your children, whether you like it or not, if you really plan on being with them.
Right.
Because that's the way the game go.
Man, it's so much stuff like this. So my podcast is like entrepreneurship, but folks keep asking, like, you do more stuff on relationships. And my thing is, true, I've been married 16 years, but I don't like giving people relationship advice because they ain't gonna listen.
Right.
People gonna do what they gonna do already.
Facts.
I'm not about to waste my time.
Especially if they having sex right now.
It's a foregone.
Once you having sex, you no longer listening to anything anybody else is telling you.
Nothing. Nothing. Hey, listen, I seen a video, dudes was telling dude, like, man, your girl out here, she for everybody, she for the streets, woo, woo, woo. He like, man, I love my baby mom, whatever. His guy's telling him, he get mad at them or whatever. He go call shorty on the phone, he hear her, like, she accidentally answered the phone, he hear her moaning in the background.
Interesting.
I'm like, hold on. He's like, baby, why you playing? Shorty, ain't nobody playing. You see what I'm saying? In real time, in Technicolor, she done, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know, man. Like, it's just so crazy out here. Like, they be doing them loyalty tests on Instagram and TikTok. Hey, folks don't be loyal. Folks got phone. That's another thing I'm gonna ask you about. When I was coming up, I didn't get my first cell phone until I was 18. Like, cell phones was like the new thing. Right. And I had a Primeco cell phone, like the Primeco joints. Like, if I wanted to push 3, I had to push A, B, C, 1, 2, 3 to get, you know, it wasn't like quick texting. And text cost money. When it wasn't even 10 cents a text when it first came out. It was something crazy, whatever, when cell phones first came out. So folks weren't doing all what they're doing now. Right. So we didn't have all these issues with cell phones. But nowadays, folks were like, don't swipe left. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, how do cell phones and social media affect, like, just the dating scene and everything for people your age nowadays?
I feel like it worked for the good and the bad. Similar to how dating is just like being an entrepreneur. You know, if you date, you got to sell yourself to who you want. And they might not want you. And if you're an entrepreneur, they might not know that they want your product until you show them that you need my product. Right. And that's how dating is. But with a phone, it make it a lot more easier because now I can text them. You know what I'm saying? I can call them. Or they can see my face and all my highlights, none of my lowlights. You know? So let's take it as Instagram. I get on Instagram. I'm going to post a video, motivational video. I'm going to post my music. I'm going to post everything that I really do. And other people, they get on Instagram, they going to post their best pictures. It might be filters on it. It might be adjusted. It's going to be the best pictures that they got and the best pictures that they can think of. And when somebody sees this picture, they're going to be like, wow, this is a great looking young man. Or, this is a beautiful young lady, you know. But that may not how they really look. You know, that may not be how they really look throughout the day or throughout the week or when they wake up in the morning, you know. And that's the part of dating and that changes it with a phone because now you don't really see them in person. You don't really see them. It's people that will talk to somebody for 2-3 weeks before they ever meet them.
That's crazy.
Date them. They'll be saying, oh, this is my girlfriend. And they haven't met them yet.
That's crazy. The freaks on Christian Mingle. That's crazy, bro.
The blackpeoplemeet.com orders. You know, but at the same time, I still feel like it should be hard to get catfish because you got FaceTime now. You got book time. You can FaceTime on Instagram nowadays. So it should be kind of hard. But at the same time, you know, people get got.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to tell you a true story. This just happened to me last year. You know, I own a school, so I'm in my office doing my thing. I get a FaceTime. Not a FaceTime. I get a, you know what? You should have told me you was doing it. I got a stand. You could have put it on, and then you could be boom. But don't even trip now. We in it now.
Yeah,
but I'm in my office chilling, right?
Right.
I get a Facebook Live video. Or not Facebook Live, but like a Facebook Messenger video. And I was like, man, I don't know who this person is. I slide it over. It's a chick. She ain't got no clothes on.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm feeling very catfished right now. Because first of all, me and my wife own the school. So it's not like I'm in my office and my wife can't pop in at any time, right? So it's going to look like I'm up to something I'm really not up to. So I'm like, it's like, but as a man, I was like, let me at least see what she's working with. I ain't gonna just cut it off right away, right? Shorty say, yo, I'm down the street and I've been feeling you, pull up. Like I'm waiting right now. I never seen this girl in my life.
Right.
I'm like, first of all, where I'm from, that's a sign that you're trying to rob somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know the setup when I see it. Like, you ain't got no clothes on.
Yeah.
Like, I never seen you in my life. What you mean you feeling me? You know, like, in my mind, I'm thinking two things.
Sweet.
She think it's sweet.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, you know my background. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know my background, you don't want me pulling up because I know y'all out there. And if you trying to rob me, let me know you rob other people. So I'm be waiting for y'all. Like, the jack boys get jacked too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy that shorty hit me like butt naked on the phone. Like, yo, pull up. Who are you? I never seen you before. I don't know you. What you mean pull up? Second of all, it's disrespectful. My wife around here somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So let me ask you this question. I just seen a stat. Mm-hmm. It said that 80% of divorces in the modern day, this is talking 2020, 2021, 2022, 80% of divorces nowadays have on the line for reasons why some form of social media. 80% of divorces. Do you think that, like, our young people, especially like young black folks, are we looking to get married nowadays, or is it like a foregone conclusion? Like, that was old school. You know what I'm saying?
I've always said that once I get my business running the way I want to run it and everything in line, I'll be able to say I don't want a social media on my phone. But social media is so much to argue about. You know?
Facts.
It may not be a big deal to me, you know?
Right.
It may not be a big deal to her, but people can make it a big deal. Like, if you look at, let's just look at some of the social media people influencers, you know, that we look at. They'll talk about their relationships on social media like the people who at the house not making no money. Like, that's their relationship.
Right.
They talk about their relationship like it's their relationship. And that can kind of be the same with you. They'll be like, okay, so if her girl don't like him liking his girl don't like him liking a picture, why should I let you like a picture?
Right.
You know? And that can kind of get caught up in that kind of thinking. But it doesn't have to be that way. But in my mind, I think that a lot of people are taking on the mentality of social media and not the mentality of themselves, you know? So whatever social media tells them to think, that's what they've been thinking lately. Oh, social media told me to think this way, so this is how I'm going to start acting.
That's on point. That's on point. Yeah, I see that a lot. And matter of fact, I had that conversation. My wife is not on my wife is on social media like once every 2 weeks. Like, it's not even in her world. I be on social media every day, but I'm making money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, I'm running plays on social media. She's like 1,000 people told my wife happy birthday. I asked her, did you go thank anybody? She was like, I said thank you. I was like, yo, that's like line number 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, everybody else done told you happy birthday. She was like, well, tell them I'll be on social media in 2 weeks and I'll thank them. I'm like, shorty, 2 weeks later, next year you're going to get 2 birthday wishes. Your mama, you know what I'm saying, and your best friend. Like, because she's never on social media. So it's crazy to me, like, relationships nowadays and just seeing it from young people's point of view. One other thing I was thinking about, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. Like, Kevin Samuels, I'm going to tell you what.
Kevin Samuels, man.
I went back and I never listened to Kevin Samuels like that when he was alive. I would see clips or whatever. I never listened to stuff he was saying or whatever. But I started seeing a lot more clips after he passed. And it's not too much stuff I disagree with.
I think his tone was harsh, but his words was real.
That, man.
His tone was harsh, but his words real. But a lot of times, my mom used to tell me, it ain't what you say, it's how you say it.
True.
You know?
True.
So people probably wasn't upset with what he was saying. They was upset with how he was saying it.
I don't know. It was some women that was both. Like, here's the thing about the brother, right? This is what I'm learning, right? So it's crazy what you said about social media, right? My wife don't even be on social media. So I come to her with a question like, hey, what you think about this? I'll show her a little clip.
Right.
We get to arguing over the clip. It don't even affect our household. We've been married 16 years. Why are we arguing over it? I just want to know your opinion as a woman, like what you think about this or think about that.
That's another sign of how social media affect a relationship.
Man,
you can argue about something that don't have nothing to do with you. It don't have nothing to do with you, but it's just fun to argue about it but you never know how serious your partner may take it.
Take it way out of
and you might not even have took it that serious. You was just playing by it, but they willing to go to bat with you because you listening to Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels is a goofy. Why you listening to Kevin Samuels? Or it could be something simple. This don't got nothing to do with me, but my friend. This got something to do with my friend.
Facts.
My friend is a huge Tory Lanez fan. And he willing to go to bat with anybody that Tory Lanez did not shoot her.
Like he was there.
Like he was there. He wasn't there. You don't know what happened.
Right.
But his partner, his woman, she think that Megan Thee Stallion got shot by Tory Lanez.
Man.
And now that's causing turmoil. And that's something so simple.
Crazy.
That social media can break you and your shorty up.
Crazy.
But it don't got nothing to do with
Nothing to do with you at all. I'm going to tell you, you know what? This is what I think about social media too. So social media, folks don't keep the same energy. Like when the Bill Cosby thing was happening, folks was like slamming this man. And I remember I was like, yo, until you get proven guilty, such and such, you need to get proven guilty. Like this was like 50 years ago. I don't believe no black man was raping all these white women. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Then he went to jail. Folks was like, I told you, woo, 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 going crazy on social media. When my man got free, and they was like, yo, we never really had nothing on him. They had to let him go. And you find out the whole thing is a setup. Yo, where that same energy at?
Right.
Quiet. We on a whole nother thing now. It's not even, you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm going to tell you another one. My best friend, I hope if children see this podcast, don't have your children watch this podcast. Only have the teenagers and above. So, R. Kelly. So, here's the thing, right? However people feel about R. Kelly is however they feel. Would I have R. Kelly around my children? Hell no.
All right.
But does that mean he didn't make great music? Hell no. He's still a king of R&B. Like, my thing is, people be like, oh, I'm not listening to R. Kelly because he's a pedophile, this, and that, whatever, out the band. He might be. I'm not saying he's not. But that doesn't mean that Step in the Name of Love ain't a cut. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean so. I asked this question because my best friend that I grew up with, he takes the opposite side on his stance. So his thing is like, I'm not listening to none of his music. I'm not listening to none of his music, and I'm not messing with him at all. So I know you see us having fun on the podcast, but seriously, let me ask you this question. Are you an entrepreneur, and are you struggling to make your first six figures? If you're an entrepreneur and you're struggling to make your first six figures, I need you to understand that most times it's not about your skill set, it's about your mindset. And it just so happens that I'm a mindset coach. So if you want to learn more and you want to learn how you can overcome the mental roadblocks that stop us from achieving high levels of success without wasting a lot of time with trial and error, then be sure to go visit my website at www.12fsuccess.com. Get a free gift and learn more, and possibly we could work together to get you to that next level, to reach your first six figures, maybe your second six figures, your third six figures, all of your dreams, everything above. We're headed to the top. Let's go. Let's get back to the episode. All right. So here's what I'm saying. No, R. Kelly is not about to come around my children, right? But here's the thing. It ain't just R. Kelly. I protect my children from all kind of people. But just because I like R. Kelly's music, it doesn't say something about me as a person.
Right.
And social media, I had a homegirl who posted, she like, if you listen to R. Kelly music, you a pedophile and you support pedophilia. Shorty, I ain't never touched a child in my life. In order for me to be a pedophile, I would have had to touch a child. Right. First of all, if you come around here with that, I'll take your head off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't about that life. But it don't mean Step in the Name of Love ain't a classic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It don't mean 12 play was popping until, I found out X, Y, Z. Here's the crazy part too. I just heard that they dropping a bunch of R. Kelly cases. The man getting out. They dropping R. Kelly cases left and right because basically they sent him to jail based over the documentary. They found out all these girls was lying. People was getting paid. R. Kelly coming home. So I don't know if he's guilty or not. My children can't see him. But I got folks that's willing to. Shorty said, if you listen to R. Kelly and you my friend and you see this post, consider yourself terminated. Like, we can't be friends because I like R. Kelly's music? You know what I'm saying? Social media is so delusional to people.
Facts.
Like, man. But think about this. Is it Harvey Weinstein? Yeah, Harvey Weinstein make all these movies. Nobody starts saying like, I'm not gonna watch this movie.
That's the crazy thing. That's the part that I wanted to talk about. We got a whole industry full of pedophilia, and you still go to the movie theater
all day.
I'm talking about you go to the movie theater. It probably ain't a movie that came out in the movie theater that ain't had somebody who directed it, that worked in it, that ain't a part of the Hollywood pedophilia scheme.
Man.
And it ain't right at all. That's why I'm saying, like, we only highlight when it's black people. Like, we only gonna highlight it when it's black people. If it have anything to do with a white person, we act like we didn't read it.
They celebrate Elvis as the greatest rock and roll Hall of Fame all time. This man was messing with a 14-year-old girl publicly in the open. They're like, yeah, but he could play the guitar. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, with us, we crucified. So the whole thing with Bill Cosby. Matter of fact, I got some people that unfriended me that never followed me back on none of my social media. And they was like, how could you say Bill's innocent? And I'm like, look at the evidence. Like, for me, if a woman say 50 years ago she got raped, there's no evidence, period. Unless, because back then it wasn't like we had cameras on every corner or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So unless he come out and say, I did it, and she say she did it, you got a confession, what evidence are you pulling? Like, they was like, well, he said he was using drugs, whatever. Like, nigga, from the hood, everybody use drugs. Everybody smoke weed. Everybody pop pills. Everybody get drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you mean to tell me 50 years ago he did this, and for 50 years or however long it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, for me, I was like, I don't like the evidence, because right now we got real life evidence of things that have happened to black people, and ain't nobody trying to ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know Trayvon Martin was gunned down.
Right.
Ain't nobody like, yo, Trayvon was gunned down, and so until we get justice for Trayvon, it's gonna happen. Like, yeah, we have a few little riots or whatever, you know how the black community do. We riot, we march on the street. Then it's business as usual. Ain't nobody saying Tamir Rice was gunned down on a drive-by shooting by the police. We finna ride and blow up the police station. We march, you know, and then it's back to business as usual. So we are really selective with our outrage of the things that make that outrageous. Like, R. Kelly is outrageous because they say it, but I forget homie name. He was in Hollywood, and he was talking about the things he went through as, like, just any child actor, like you were saying.
Right.
Pull up the child actor. The casting couch is real. Child actors is real. I don't know if I should say this or not. What the heck? We on a podcast, right? So I don't know if she's telling the truth or not. I'm not co-signing. But the sister, Jaguar Wright, been coming out with crazy stuff. Have you seen her interviews?
No.
Oh, you got to go. Listen. She's spilling tea on everybody. She went off on Puffy, Jay-Z, Alicia Keys. Like, she's coming with all these industry things because she was in the industry. The Roots, like all these different things. Erykah Badu. She's talking about all these different people. I don't know what's true and what's not true. But one thing she said that stood out to me, I heard Cat Williams talk about. She was saying how, I won't say the names of the celebrities because I don't want to slander nobody, but she was like saying basically they had this party. Some of her people knew people that was in the party, and like they had a whole section in the back of the party in these mansions where like people is like having sex with children. So I thought about that Cat Williams joint. Cat Williams is like, you don't know what these people do in these mansion parties. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get to these mansion parties, and then like the interview I sent you, it'd be wild stuff.
And they
happening.
always say like people, like, I feel like a lot of times they only use the scriptures to their advantage. They don't like really just sit there and use the scriptures for everything that the scriptures say.
Facts.
You know, the scriptures say you don't understand the depths of Satan. You know, I mean, you probably can't fathom how far the devil will go in this wicked world. You know, but the thing is, we don't want to go. We don't want to see it. We only want to see what's in front of us.
That's so true.
We don't want to see how the devil really works.
Nah. You know what? That's a good point. We'll close out on this point too, right? It's funny, man, because like people are selective for their life for what works for them. So the Bible could have 100 rules in it, right? If that 99th rule is something that you don't like, the Bible only has 99 rules. You know what I'm saying? Because you're like, don't forget about that. Like, It's crazy. My little brother is a
The Bible said no trees in the house. It's Christmas.
It's for the children. You know what I'm saying? Like, my little brother, he a pastor, right? So I was like, bro, how you justify eating pork? It clearly tells you not to eat pork. All these Old Testament chapters. You're like, oh, that's the Old Testament. It's old. Like, yo, did you just say it's old? Like, if it's old, why you read it?
Yeah, facts,
You know what I'm saying? Like, why you referencing it? If it's old, throw it away. It should only be the New Testament then. And he like, in the New Testament, they prayed over it. I was like, shorty, this is the example I be giving people. If I got a crack vial, but I pray over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, dear Jesus, bless this crack cocaine. When I hit this pipe, like, that's how crazy folks sound. Like, listen, and I told my little brother, I said, fam, listen, it's not even what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches. Yeah. It's just facts.
It's just facts.
Pigs are dirty animals. They sweat into themselves. They'll eat anything. They eat feces. There's no, like, a pig is so poisonous. If the most poisonous snake bites it, it'll kill the snake. I'm like, it's poison. Yeah, he's like, but Jesus.
If a snake bite a pork.
I'm like, fam, show me the scripture where Jesus was eating pork. You know what I'm saying? Show me where he was like, yo, Peter, go give me a pork sandwich and run that back. You feel me?
You gotta say a pulled pork sandwich. They be in Mississippi eating that pulled pork. They ain't gonna feel it the same if you don't say pulled pork.
Yo, religion is funny,
pulled pork sandwich.
Religion is too funny. Folks be, you going to church this Sunday? Shorty, you got a whole man in your house. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't married. Like, yo, don't. One thing I don't like, I found spirituality at a young age, but I don't like over religious people. Cause like, I don't try to judge nobody. Like, you got whatever your vice is, that's your vice. But I've been alive long enough to know everybody got something they dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And
everybody doing wrong.
Everybody got, like, listen, as a person who strived to be righteous, Satan is whooping our ass in the war of righteousness. You know what I'm saying? I try to be, listen, you can try to be righteous as you want. I jump on Instagram. Like, I think J. Cole had a song talking about, he said something like, once she dropped a seed or something like that, like, I forgot the lyrics. He said something like, she say something to him, he try to hang up the phone or whatever, but she already planted the seed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just, man, you can't tell me you a righteous dude, shorty walk by, she got on whatever. Yeah. And she like what you like, that's your type. Yeah. I be telling my wife up front because it keeps me out of trouble. Listen, you looking? Yeah.
You know what happened when somebody walk past you. Every man do it. They walk. As soon as they walk past them,
man, you hear me? That double take official.
But that got to be the end of it, though. That got to be the end of it. You got to be like, you know what I'm saying? All right, I have my luck. It's over. But I'm starting to say, I already know what it look like. I don't even want to look no more.
Man, I'm gonna give you advice that worked for me. It may not work for you, whatever. One thing I realized, once I started getting money, and this was like maybe a decade ago, right? The first time I ran out and got real money, but I was around a bunch of beautiful women, I had to tell myself, I'm not about to F the money up. Like, I had to make the money more important than anything else. Because it was I had some situations. Now that you're older, I can share some of those things, right? I had some situations that was like, like, yo, I'm trying to be a faithful husband, but it is hard out in these streets, right? But the thing was, if I would have took the apple, then I would have messed the money up. Right. And I'm from the bottom. I can't afford to mess the money up. Like, listen.
You think it's harder for a man to be faithful than it is a woman?
I'm going to tell you what I think. I think on that question, right, men cheat for different reasons than women. We talked about this on the last podcast. Men cheat out of means, motive, and opportunity, right? Yeah. Like, I might be sitting having this podcast with you right now, not thinking about cheating. I'm trying to be faithful, whatever. Shorty come knock on the door. Oh, can I use the phone? They're chasing me. I dropped my phone. Can I come in for rescue? Sure, I'm going to give you my phone, call 911. All right, what's happening? She's like, can I just stay here till the police come? Like, yeah. That could turn into something. You feel me? Like, you had no intentions, right? It's crazy. If she looked right, you know what I'm saying? You alone. Like, man, listen, nature is real.
Can I just watch a movie until the police come?
Let me just, you got, next thing you know, bring me a blanket, you cuddled up on the couch, you close, edge it closer, you know what I'm saying? Like, and a guy will go, right? And as a man, I know my weaknesses, so I try to stay away from it, like off top. A woman, and this is part of our conversation last week, when women cheat, if they're in a relationship that's supposed to be like monogamous, or they supposed to be in a faithful relationship, if your woman cheats, it's over. In my opinion, because women don't cheat for the same reason. A man can sleep with a woman and don't care nothing about her. When women cheat, it's because another man has her mind, and if he got her mind, it's over. That ain't your girl no more. That's his girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told my wife, anything she do, I'm cool with. My only non-negotiable, if she cheat, it's over. But that ain't my girl no more.
But my thing is, I feel like that's how it used to be when things was lined up like that.
True.
I feel like now women more like men.
This is true.
they'll have sex with a man, and they really just dubbed them.
This is
They
true.
dubbed them and kept moving. And that's how they used to move, where they'll be like, oh, I'm attached to one man at a time. But now they not really attached. They moving like us. Like, they moving how a lot of single men move. All right, I messed with him. He was lame. I'm moving to the next.
True. That synthetic estrogen got us all messed up. The men are doing what the women used to do, and the women. So when they talk about independent women and dependent men, it's some shorties out here that like think like this whole like city girls, hot girls, Meg Thee Stallion, this whole thought girl movement is crazy because we don't see how the roles is being reversed. The men is turning into the roles of the women, and the women playing the roles of the men. So like, but we don't see it. You know what I'm saying? And that's a huge. I seen a stat. It's gonna sound crazy. I seen a statistic that said women have officially become the #1 purveyors of pornography. Which, think about this naturally. Men like pornography because men are visual creatures. Like, we like to see, touch. Man, she thick, she whatever. You know what I'm saying? We like to see. The moment it flips and women become the #1 purveyors of pornography, it's showing you something that most of us have no clue. All this synthetic estrogen being pumped into the foods that's imbalancing the chemicals in our body. We just think it's natural.
Yeah.
But it's an experiment they did. You can go look this up. It's in National Geographic. They did all these different experiments on sexual hormones and whatnot. And they found that with fruit flies and anything else, there's literally a gene that you can push the button in the gene that could turn you straight homosexual, back and forth, straight homosexual. So we think it's just, oh, this is how it is. But folks playing a game with our, you know what I'm saying, with our life. With our food. We up there eating food that got the synthetic estrogen. The synthetic estrogen is making the women masculine and it's making the men feminine. And then you see the men, we quick to shoot each other.
Right.
Feminine. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to fight.
That's fire.
Like, men ain't trying to throw hands, we just shoot because your emotions hurt. That's a female trait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Women get they feelings hurt and want to do something about it. Men, shit, we gonna squabble. If it's beef, we gonna throw hands. If you win, may the best man win.
Yeah, facts.
Now women pulling up on women to throw hands. It's crazy. Like go on World Star right now. Yeah. It's more women fighting than men.
Yeah, well, men don't fight no more.
Men don't fight.
A man gonna pop you. A man gonna pop you, and women gonna pull up to your house and tell shorty to come outside.
Man,
and she gonna fight him.
You know the crazy part about it is too, when the men get to prison after shooting somebody, then they really find out like, yo, this ain't real. Because now you gotta scrap. Ain't no guns no more. Now you gotta use your hands. And I be hearing stories of men getting destroyed in prison. You become somebody's girlfriend because you over feminine. Then you get exposed when you get to prison and you weren't as gangster as you thought. A gun don't make you a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. You pop somebody, now you in that bing with men that's doing 50 years that lift weights every day and eat steel. You know what I'm saying? Now they telling you, I like you and I want you. We can do this the easy way or the hard way, right?
Man.
That's too real, man. So it's unfortunate. That's why when I look at dating nowadays, man, and I'm going to close on this point. I know, but it's a fun interview for me. Definitely. The whole Kevin Samuels piece is that, and this is when me and my wife was having this discussion. The whole Kevin Samuels piece, and when you ask most women, do you want a high-value man?
Right.
They yeah. What qualifies you to get a high-value man? Oh, I'm a boss chick. I got my own business. I went to school. I got 3 degrees. I own my own car. I got a nice house. I make 6 figures. And Kevin Samuels was like, you describing yourself like a man. That's how men describe it. Men describe themselves based on status. Men want to hear from women, I'm nurturing, I'm caring, I'm loving, I can raise a family, I can cook, I can clean, I can sew. When you start running off all your accolades of what you do, that's what men do. Men brag on their status to other men like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I talk crazy to other men. Oh, you ain't making enough money to talk to me like that.
Yeah.
When a woman start talking to me like that, ain't nothing feminine about it. That's not feminine energy. That's masculine energy. So now your masculine energy, here's the crazy part. You old enough, so you remember this probably. There was this big movement about toxic masculinity.
Right.
But toxic masculinity is really females pushing masculinity, and they say it's toxic because a man is being a man. A man is, goddammit, a man's supposed to fight. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm a student of the minister, right? The minister don't make no punks. Goddammit, we fight. Right. There ain't no turn the other cheek. If you violate, you getting violated. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? And women are, it's toxic masculinity. Tell me, give me your opinion on this. Okay. This is why I'm about to go with this. I'm going to close. Give me your opinion on this. Dude asked a girl on a podcast. He say, why do you want to go to the club if you're in a relationship, a monogamous relationship, and you're in a faithful relationship with this man? She said, well, I want to dance. He said, why don't you dance at home? She said, well, it's different. Like, they play all the latest music. He's like, we stream music nowadays. Whatever they listen to in the club, you can listen to at home. Okay. She said, well, they got drinks. He said, you can buy drinks and drink at home.
Drink it at the house.
She said, but I like getting dressed up. He's like, you can get dressed up at the house. You see what I'm saying? Why do you feel the need to go to the club as a woman in a monogamous, faithful relationship? What are we looking at here, Yahmir? Talk to me.
It's a social media validation. You know? But at the same time, you know, we post so that people can like it. A lot of people not just posting just to post. I'm posting just to post. I don't care if I get 2 likes on my motivational video. If I get 2 views on my song, I'm dropping and I'm posting the post. But a lot of us, we posting to get the likes. And at the same time, that's the reason we going out. You know. Now let's not get it twisted. You're not gonna have that much fun in your basement dancing by yourself. Let's not be delusional about this. The fun is going out. You getting this the concept. You go out, you get drunk, you vibe out, and everybody just tweaking and having a good time. You know, you don't get that kind of feeling, especially if you a social butterfly, right? And you being at the house. That could cause, you know, a lot of people say they get depressed when they super social and they forced to stay at the house, you know. So for me, I feel like it's validation, but at the same time, it's a chance for them to branch out, be more who they are. Like they want to be talkative, they want to be around a lot of people, you know.
I'm gonna tell you my answer.
All right.
2 things. This one, the OGs, right? Number 1, your ass could be a social butterfly in any other environment.
Other than the club.
Talk the talk. You can go to colleges,
talk the talk,
conferences. Yeah. I'm in entrepreneur groups. I'm in the morning meetup Monday through Friday. Right. I'm meeting with hundreds of people first thing in the morning. I'm in ATS Business University. I'm talking to hundreds of people right after that call. I'm in groups. I travel. I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Houston. I'm in DC. I'm in California. I'm on the go. I link up with. I'm a social butterfly, right? Not the club yet, though.
Not the club.
I'm going to tell you what social media has done, in my opinion. And it's just my opinion, so nobody come on my podcast talk crazy. It's just my 2 cents.
No, I want them to talk crazy so I can read the comments.
Oh, yeah. Talk crazy. Drop the comment below with your personal opinion. I'm going to smash it, but drop it. Social media plays on our vanity, right? Social media, for the most part, plays on our vanity. We really think, I really think if I post a picture of my food and be like, Yahmir, look at my chicken. That Yahmir gives a damn about the chicken I cook, right? Yeah. I really think if I take a picture of my cat that, you know, whoever in Alaska cares about my cat, it's vanity, right? Social media was able to do to America what no person's been able to do with any other propaganda, which is play everybody on their vanity. Everybody wants to be seen, heard, and be somebody. So you get on social media, you become somebody. Wow. In real life, you're not that person.
Let's talk.
You know what I'm saying? I know a girl. I don't know the girl personally. I heard the story. So let me not say I know her personally, but I know a girl who told the story. One of my coaches. She talked about this girl that posts on social media all the time. She got Louis, she got Gucci, she got Prada. She out there. Like, you see her, you like, yo, shorty bad. She always G'd up, whatever. She was living on her best friend's couch. But she was like in Manhattan. She would go out to Manhattan, hit like the expensive neighborhoods, whatever. Take pictures at the stores, drape all the drip. She was living on her people's couch.
Let me stop you though. Your life can be changed like that. Hey, I used to look down on women that did that. Now I don't. Go get your money, because you could be living at your friend's couch, dressed in the Prada, the Balenciaga, and that basketball player may see you and get in your DMs, and your life can be changed. so I no longer hate on you. Get your money and keep grinding.
Basketball players, if you see this, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Hey, one other thing too. So I got Dubai booked to take my wife there for her birthday next year, right? We lit. Anybody want to go? We rolling to Dubai. Do you know how these girls be getting these trips to do y'all know there's a whole industry in Dubai of what really happens, like the Instagram model thing. Like the news has ran reports on this, but it's an underground thing because it's right next door to sex trafficking, right? These dudes in Dubai, they had all these money, be paying these Instagram models, whatever, they come over and they take them shopping. This how it literally is a pattern. To take them shopping, they get all the most expensive stuff, and it's cheaper over there. They get all the most expensive stuff. They get girls be G'd up, but the transaction that happens in return for the trip to Dubai is so disgusting. I can't put it on my podcast, right? What these like just go look it up. Just go Google some of the reports that came out on this.
So what are they supposed to Google?
Google
Dubai.
Just Google Dubai
sex trafficking,
Instagram models, something about what Instagram models do to get to Dubai.
Okay.
When I seen the reports, I almost fell out my chair. I'm like, this is nasty. And it's like rap or it's like anything else. That's what I asked you when I was talking about rap, and I was like, what's the price you're willing to pay to become that person, right?
Right.
For me personally, I'm learning how to make money because I'm not willing to pay the price to get put on by somebody that's gonna abuse me. Like if another man come to me and he was like, yo, you wanna make 10 million? Yes, sir! All I need is your butt cheeks. I'm out. The cost is too high. You know what I'm saying? Cost is too high. I can't afford it, right? Sorry.
Oh, God, I can't afford it.
I'll stick with 10,000 for now. I'll figure out how to work my way up on my own, right?
I can't afford it.
But the most dangerous person in the world is people who do anything for money.
Yeah.
And people say they're with you as long as they can get the advantage of being with you and get the benefit. But the moment a better or bigger benefit comes from something else, they gone. And they're not really with you. And those people are dangerous because they'll do anything for money. People that will do anything for money are just... Those are dangerous people, man, because you never know. And here's the crazy part about it for all these girls. The black family's broken, right? We know marriage, the divorce rate is 85%. So folks ain't staying married. Most of us, especially boys, we grew up in households with single mothers. The girls do too. And it's this thing called daddy issues. And you don't talk about mama issues. You never hear people say, oh, I got mama issues. You hear people talking about, I got daddy issues.
Well, facts.
Guys had daddy issues. Our parents didn't pay us attention growing up. We crave attention. Females crave male attention. Males, we crave other males' attention. All right. Females craving male attention. It turns into the stripper, the porn star, whatever. No, not every girl, but just it happens. And 50% of black women by the age of 18 have been molested, touched, or raped. By the time that's 50%. That's half the population. So when you get these girls in these situations, and now I get to be on Instagram. Yesterday I was just the neighborhood chick in Compton.
Right.
But on Instagram, I'm everything. I'm the talk of LA. Come see me.
Yeah.
You become somebody. You know what I'm saying? And for a lot of people, you become somebody different on social media. It's so crazy, man. That for me, I would be fearful to date because beyond catfishing, somebody who's clearly not the person. You know what I'm saying? They got Nia Long picture up. You get there, she look like Precious. You're like, hold on, shorty.
The biggest,
you know what I'm saying?
The biggest catfish is not the face catfish. It's the mind catfish.
It's the mindset.
If a woman mindset catfish you, if a man mindset catfish you, you're done for. Because the man is the worst. They the worst. A woman can mindset catfish you, can get around it. A man, he probably already put a baby in you, hooked you up,
man.
Then he mindset catfished you. It showed you who he really was. He not taking care of them kids.
No.
He don't really get no money.
Nope.
He mindset catfished you, and now you stuck.
I seen a Bentley kit on a Chrysler. I was like, fam, is there a Bentley kit on a Chrysler? That's not a Bentley.
Right.
That's a Chrysler. But they took the little emblem off. They put the Bentley thing out front. Dude caught him, recorded it, put it on social media this dude front. So think about what is it? What you want the car so bad rather than work for the car and figure out how to get to the car. You're going to go buy a Chrysler 200. He didn't even have a Chrysler 300. He had the Chrysler 200. He took the 200 emblem off, put the Bentley on the 200. That's not you.
Yeah,
you're not that person. And so that's, as an entrepreneur, I just run into that a lot, man. Because online, entrepreneurs are like girls.
Yeah.
In a sense of that we talking about. Entrepreneurs be buy my course. Yeah, okay, shorty. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Come mess with me, I get you right. And everybody's not who they say they are. So not just in the dating world, but in everything, you just gotta be careful. You gotta vet people heavily and part of vetting people is realizing even if somebody passed all your tests, time's going to reveal who people really are.
That's why I look at entrepreneurship the same way I look at as with dating. You know, a lot of men, I feel like a lot of men be going to the cheap route. Like, they really don't want to date. They want it to have sex.
Right.
You know, and the price is, what does it take to have sex? Versus entrepreneurship is, what is your price for me to do business with you?
Right.
So the same way I look at a property and I say, all right, they got this price listed on Zillow for $60,000. I'm not going to pay you 60, but I'm going to see how to get it for 30, for 20. And it's the same way a man can look at a woman and say, okay, she told me that I had to date her for a year, or I had to date her for 6 months before we can do something. And the man probably like, it probably take me about a week.
Man.
That's the same concept as entrepreneurship. But now, if you take that mindset that you have with the woman and you positively convert it into an entrepreneur mindset, you can say, okay, now how do I get this business for cheaper price?
Facts.
You know?
Big facts. So I hope y'all caught that little jewel nephew drop. Listen, if y'all like this episode, you know I got to bring them back. This was probably one of the funnest episodes we had. So you know I got to bring them back because young people give you life, light, and energy. And once again, hey, drop at the end. Let them know right now, one more time, where they can find all your music. Drop all your socials. Tell them where they can find you at, man. And man, we get up out of here, but let them know where they can find you at.
You can find me on anywhere you can pull up Wi-Fi. I'm everywhere. I'm on Instagram. My music is everywhere, all platforms. CG space Meezy. The Meezy is MEEZY. CG space Meezy. Appreciate y'all having me.
Man, we definitely going to bring you back. This was fun. Next time, you know what we're going to do? Next time, we're going to bring your brothers, sisters, everybody. We're going to have like a little family reunion up in here. We'll make sure everybody's in here. Yo, this is CEO Brother Henry GPS Podcast. Y'all already know what we do. Grow your passion into success. We'll holler at you in the next one. We out.